What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Bachelor recap. But it's the Bachelor this time, and it's a new year, new Bachelor season. Here we go. I hope we're ready. We got 1 week off. Was it a week? Did we just get 1 week off from the Bachelor?
I think so.
One single week.
One single week. It's a blessing and a curse for us.
Absolutely.
But we are happy to be with you. I hope you guys all had a wonderful and safe and fun New Year's with those of you who loved or people you can't stand but tolerate. You know, I think a lot of times you spend New Year's with people like that, but I digress. We have a great episode for you. The very wonderful and funny Lisa Schwartz is with us.
Oh, thank you.
To help us break down episode 1. I've been meaning to have you on. We've talked about having you on for some time. You are possibly like an expert in all things Bachelor Nation. You certainly have cut your teeth and recapped, and you are a seasoned veteran.
I've been around the block.
If nothing else, you're a seasoned veteran.
I don't know if I'm honored or embarrassed or all of the above. But
well, if you're embarrassed, then that would you're in the wrong room. You know?
You are in it. You know what I mean? Like I'm just on the outskirts.
Well, there's plenty of people on the outskirts who have made it their entire life. So I think you're fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's only just a sliver of all the things that you are.
This season, dude, I was like, no, not this season, Lisa. Like you should take off. Like. Really, you should give yourself a break from this. And then you called to do this. And I was like, oh, damn it.
The bat phone rang.
I have to do it. Now I'm sucked in.
Well, before we get to this episode, and I guess the hot goss of the early parts of 2022.
Already, huh?
Just some housekeeping notes. What a wonderful Ask Nick episode dropped yesterday. Or tonight, or this morning. I don't know when you guys are listening to this episode. Be sure to check that out. We really kick off this new year with a bang. Again, if you find yourself to be in a struggling situationship or confused about your own choices in dating and life, just give us a shot. I think you will find some comfort in knowing that you're not the only train wreck in this world when it comes to your love life. We all are. We have a fantastic episode with the wonderful, charming Francesca Farrago on Wednesday. You probably know her from the very popular show Too Hot to Handle. And let's find out if Francesca was in fact too hot to handle on this episode of the Viall Files.
What a tease.
What a tease. She was great.
She talked about being bi.
Yeah.
She talked very openly just like about her life. She was like a very honest, genuine guest.
It was fascinating talking to her because it was just like, what does she think is better in her dating life when it comes to dating men and women? And she was, so
I'd be interested.
Yeah. Like, I was like, okay, well, I'll just go fuck myself. No, Scott. Literally, because I'm in love and in a relationship.
You really look so happy.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I feel like you've had quite a journey.
Thanks. Like,
it's like
really. You did it. I wasn't sure if you could do it, but like, I'm kidding.
That's how I feel. I got married this year and I feel like my parents were like shocked. I'm 38. I'm an old bride. Old lady bride.
Not in LA.
But you know what? You worked for it. I felt like you worked on yourself.
I did.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And your lady looks very lovely.
Thank you, Lisa. She is more lovely on the inside.
That's very lovely.
And smoking hot.
She's smoking hot, dude. She's hot. Good job.
But just a better person. And her mom's name is Lisa.
Oh, really?
I've been trying to get her on The Bachelor Senior, which we had a plug for this episode.
Is it happening?
I think so. I think Rob Mills is committed to making this happening. And I hope so. I think it will be actually quite entertaining television.
I would love to see that.
I don't know if first of all, Nally's mom is in a relationship, so they're problem number one. Can you imagine if Nally's mom goes on and all of a sudden it's the first Bachelor Senior scandal? Like, she broke up with me to go on Bachelor Senior.
People do it.
She has a man waiting for her back home.
He's waiting for her. Her boyfriend shows up on the season. It's like, whatever.
It's part of the formula, man.
It's my understanding she's slightly too young for the cut. I believe they're looking for 65 and older.
Holly was 63, the woman we saw today.
Okay.
So maybe they'll make an exception.
It's unclear. Anyway, do you guys have a nice New Year's? Any New Year's Eve Like it was fine. Like if you don't
I
have a
did
story.
something super fun for the first time. I was with like 3 of my closest friends and we all went month by month and just like talked about what we did in like January, February. And it was like a very fun little like year in review.
I love that.
Oh, okay. You're like a friendship year in review with friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also like, if you have your like photos up, because I was like, I don't know what I was doing in February. And then I looked through my iPhone and I was like, that's what I was doing in February.
Was anyone's like significantly more depressing than the rest? And then it got weird. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, you know what? This was my year. And then the one person was like, it's not my year.
I do think it was like, there was actually a lot of like, it was surprising how aligned we were. Like everybody had a really tough March. I don't know why. And a really tough October.
I feel like I had a great year, honestly.
I kind of did too.
Thrived. It's fantastic.
I was awesome last year.
By the way, Allie is flying right now, which is why she's not recording with us. She is still an integral part of this show.
Was she able to get on her flight?
Great question. Honestly, flying, a real bugaboo right now.
Not great.
Not great. I had a House of Horrors on my flight back to LA. So we wish you well, Allie, in your trip back to LA. Well, let's finally, we start with the tea. Is there any tea? Is there?
Yes.
There is.
Already.
Yeah, of course we have some tea. So fresh off of Michelle's season, we have her and Nate celebrating New Year's together. And they were joined by Joe. There was a very cute selfie of them.
I saw that.
All hanging out together.
Yeah.
Hot.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things I have 2 thoughts when I see something like that. It's like how nice we can all be friends. Of course, that's the obvious thought.
Sure.
That's nice. The second thought is like, was it ever really real?
Was it ever really real?
Joe was my pick.
Yeah.
And
what an attractive man.
oh, he's gorgeous.
Oh my God. I wish he was the Bachelor. No?
I get why he's not. I'm
like
way more invested in Joe's love story.
Okay.
I'd love to look at Joe. I think
that's really where.
I think if what's her name, who was supposed to get engaged, walked into Joe's room, I think she'd still be on the show.
Interesting.
But I don't know if Joe's necessarily. You have to talk. I mean,
okay, fair enough.
You really have to be able to hold conversations.
Fair enough.
Joe is a man of few words, and I don't know if the role of the Bachelor is right for
just the most quiet season of all time.
Just like
that's so handsome.
I'm just gonna sit here and let you look at me. But yeah, so it's like it's one of those things. Like we all love a respectful king who can like move on, and be cool. And it has been a few months, but we watched it through the lens of Joe just being devastated. He was ready to get engaged to this woman.
Right.
She helped really kind of blossom him out of his shell. And 3 months later, it's just like, we're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. It's kind of like, I think now we have some clarity on that Joe never was really a consideration for Michelle. And that's fine. But I think it's not, I don't think Brandon, Nate,
would be
and
ready
Michelle
to do that.
Will be hanging out.
Oh, I love Brandon.
Anytime soon.
Do you think that's like a product of the show and just like the adrenaline that comes with being on TV and doing all these amazing things, and like a lot of the hype gets mixed with the love, right?
Sure. Yeah. I think, and we've talked about this a lot. I mean, when it comes down to your final 4, you have, I think, more people in the final 4 are falling in love with the experience and the adrenaline and the atmosphere, and very few people, like the runner-ups, like Brandon, for example.
You got to meet him, right?
I did. It was a wonderful interview. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out. But he was truly in love. And he'll be fine. But he earnestly believed in his love. He felt real heartbreak, and that doesn't happen every season.
Yeah,
and clearly, I think it didn't happen with Joe, and that's fine. But I think seeing this so quickly offers us some clarity on that. But all things being equal, I'm glad it happened, and it seemed like Joe and Nate were friends throughout filming, and it seems like they will be able to continue this friendship. My hope of Nate and Michelle, not that I'm rooting against them, of not working out, and then Joe and Michelle kind of like casually run into each other courtside. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's
like
gonna
regardless
happen.
of what happens with Nate and Michelle,
Yeah.
I don't know if the Joe and Nate fairy tale ever really had a shot. So now we know.
Who's ready to feel amazing this year? I know I am. That's right. How about you, Amanda?
I'm ready to feel amazing this year.
Yeah.
And how do I do that, Nick?
You do it by, eating right is a great way to do it. There's lots of ways to feel great. And I think eating can play a big role.
But Nick, I'm busy.
You're busy. Well, don't worry. Sunbasket has got you covered. Sunbasket delivers healthy meals, not just meals, but healthy meals so that you aren't on the hook to shop and cook to hit your health goals. Their award-winning chefs are constantly innovating with new recipes and global tastes to keep it interesting each week with dozens of options. They have award-winning chefs. Award-winning. They have won awards for cooking food. And you can put dinner on autopilot with easy-to-prep meal kits that impress for date night or win over the picky eaters in your family. Whether you eat vegetarian, paleo, gluten-free, or low-carb, high-protein, Sunbasket has something to check any and every box. You can choose from delicious recipes such as pan-seared salmon tikka masala over superfood rainbow quinoa, honey balsamic glazed chicken with warm cabbage apple salad. My favorite.
That sounds so good.
Set up weekly delivery and skip a week when you need to. It's simple and easy, and you will love it. Right now, Sunbasket is offering $90 off and a free gift when you order. Go to sunbasket.com/VIALL and enter promo code VIALL at checkout. That's sunbasket.com/VIALL and enter promo code VIALL. Helix Sleep. What can I tell you about Helix Sleep? Here's what I'll tell you. In 2021, Nally and I traveled a little bit more than we did in 2020 because, pandemic stuff. And it was nice to get out and it was nice to travel and we had wonderful accommodations. And I can't tell you how much we enjoyed every time coming home and getting in our own bed. And every time we were just like, our bed is so comfortable. Well, I'll tell you what we're sleeping on, a Helix Sleep mattress.
Also, I'll say it. I judge my hookups based on the quality of their bed.
Do you know?
I think I note it if it's really nice.
It's the first mattress I've ever had. And I've had some nice mattresses that I truly, every time I get into bed, I'm like, this is a really comfortable bed. Everyone's different with Helix Sleep. That's right. Side sleepers, back sleepers, stomach sleepers. I don't know. But the truth is they have different mattresses for different people. And all it takes is you taking a quick quiz. It usually takes just 2 minutes to complete. And they will match your body with the mattress that is perfect for you. They were picked best overall mattress by GQ and Wired magazine in 2020. I think they've had this streak for a while now. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up if you don't love it, but you will. Helix Sleep is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/VIALL. That is helixsleep.com/VIALL for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows.
Speaking of the wedding, they're hoping to get married in summer. They told People.
Of this year?
Whoa, that's fast.
That's of this year.
I believe so.
Does that feel fast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, good for them because the classic Bachelor response in these situations is, well, we just got to know each other and we're just learning, and also normal response.
Yeah.
And not that I'm not saying Michelle and Nate's not normal.
He's saying it.
I'm judging. Yeah, the typical response would be, we haven't set a date yet. We're just going to enjoy right now. And then 3 years later, you're still getting asked, have you set a date?
And then they either do.
Yeah. And the fact that this summer?
Well, it's a summer wedding, so presumably this summer, but especially with
there's a big difference if they said you would us setting
or now.
There's, I don't know when the world's going to end, but there's going to be plenty of summers.
Sure. So I don't. It's they might be teasing us. I think they might be taunting us.
Okay, but just to play devil's advocate, when you know kind of thing.
Sure, if I don't know. I think
and also, Nate is.
I'm trying.
And Nate is moving to Minnesota. So that's something that, again, is sort of...
He should do that if they're going to get married.
And good for him. He's... but we say that, but that doesn't always happen. Like Blake was like, I don't know, I'm not going to San Diego. You already seem to have a boyfriend, Katie.
Right.
You know, so like she was like, why should I move when it seems like, I don't know. So it doesn't always happen.
Okay.
Natalie and I had the same when we flew home to Wisconsin. As we're boarding the plane and we're in the walkway, I said, and it was the next morning after AFR, and I turned around, I said, and we had a layover in Minneapolis. And I said to Natalie, I'm like, I would be shocked if Michelle's parents were on our flight. And I get on the plane, 10 seconds later, there they were.
Come on.
Seat A and B. And I said hi, they said hi. Then, and then afterwards we talked for like 5 minutes in Minneapolis when we landed and took a nice little selfie.
They seem lovely.
Lovely.
I really liked them.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, I did not watch the finale. I watched the whole season and then I was just like so tired from it that I just saw it on social media.
I don't know if you...
Did I miss?
Not really.
I watched
you
a
want to watch a man
recap.
genuinely be heartbroken, That's the finale's
I think maybe that's why I didn't do it.
One thing we didn't end up covering was the $200,000 down payment gift that the show gave Michelle and Nate.
How did that come about?
My guess is I think they truly believe in Michelle wanting to stay her course with her life. I think the show...
That's so beautiful.
The show's dream, when it started, was always like, we're going to let these people come on TV and find love, and they're going to go live their life. And before social media, on some level, that happened, right? And then social media hit, and it's completely changed the game. And it is what it is now, right? And now you have Michelle come in, passionate about her educational career and teaching. She's staying in Minnesota. There's no plans on moving already. Clayton for all is like, I'm just a small town guy. I'm like, all we know about Clayton, he's from a small town.
Very small town.
And I see he's moved. He's moving to Arizona.
Arizona.
Which, whatever. It's fine. It's not like it's Hollywood. I'm just saying, like, this is someone who's like, oh, I got to be the Bachelor, and like he can move. I moved. Like, again, there's absolutely no judgment. It's just that Michelle's like, no. I have my life. I have my plan. I have the thing I'm passionate about.
I just wanted
Bachelorette
love.
thing is like just a small detour. I'm going to get back on track, and I think the show is just like, we love this, and instead of going, not that they have anything to do with Dancing with the Stars per se, but I think it's a reward for Nate being willing to move to Minneapolis and Michelle being dedicated on staying the course with her career and education, whatever that turns out to be.
I'm kind of shocked. That's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah. I don't suspect you will be seeing that gift in the future, and I don't think it's a coincidence that Michelle got it.
I like that a lot.
In addition to Clayton's move, he also posted an Instagram story where he has new roomie, and there's a photo of him with a dog. So we don't know if this is maybe a friend.
He
dog.
loves
We don't know
puppies.
if this is the dog of a partner. Who's to say? But potentially a teaser.
Yeah. Okay.
That's like all it said in his bio was like, he's from a small town and he loves puppies.
Yeah. So where are you from? A small town. Oh God. That's all. Anyway, we'll get into that.
What do you love? Puppies.
Puppies in small. I'm just a small town guy. I don't know. What do I know? Anything else?
Yeah, just to finish up the tea, Hannah Brown's mom posted a photo on Christmas with Hannah, her brother, and her brother's new fiance / Jed's ex. Of course, shocking. Internet had some opinions. Someone commented saying people should only post genuine moments of happiness, and there's no way this is happy for everyone.
Oh, well, fuck that
Hannah's
person.
mom,
that person. That's so mean.
It's like, what? Come on. Like, go enjoy Christmas with your family. And Hannah Brown's mom said, because we are a family and family always comes first. So she stood her ground.
But that, in a weird way, that response tells me, yeah, this is a miserable situation, but we're going to embrace it.
Which is what we all do on the holidays.
It's like, it's family,
Gotta do what you gotta do. Post that picture.
All I want to know is, does Hannah still not follow her?
Oh, she wasn't following her?
No. Which is no small dig.
We gotta look that up.
Yeah, we'll have to check in on that.
Yeah. Let us know, Amanda. About the
final piece of Bachelor teas, just Amanda Klutz and Michael A. got dinner as friends.
I'm having dinner with Michael this Friday, so I'll get all the tea
Oh
from
boy,
Michael.
do I love that man.
She's on The Talk and Dancing with the Stars.
Okay. For why was she in Dancing with the Stars?
For being on the talk.
Amazing. She'd be on the talk.
I don't know.
She's a talk show host. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So not a bachelor person.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I knew that, but I knew she was a somebody. I was not, for all the Amanda Kloots fans out there. I apologize. I was not aware.
They're going to come after you, Nick. They are going to come after you.
She was a former Rockette and had a background in Broadway. So I think she was on there, I think, as a dancer.
Okay, great. I'll be sure to ask Michael this Friday at dinner. Yeah.
Is he the best?
He is. He really is. He exceeded my expectation.
That's wonderful. Yeah. I love that.
He was a great guy.
Well, it's a new year, and chances are some of you are hoping to get your fit on. You know, whether you want to look different or just feel different, exercise plays a role in that. And Fit On workouts are always free to use and fun to use. Fit On is the #1 premier free fitness app. Free. Did I say it correctly? Free. 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 Anyone into free? That's right. Well, if you are, Fit On is your app that you need to get on. And it is redefining the workout experience. That's right. Fit On offers workouts for all fitness levels and is easy to follow. Access over 1,000 workouts anytime, anywhere. Fit On has workouts as short as 5 minutes. There's no excuse to skip a workout. Over 10+ million people already use Fit On. Widest variety of workout styles include cardio, HIIT, strength training, toning, Pilates, yoga, kickboxing, bar, and more. You'll never get bored. Stream on your phone, TV, or laptop. No equipment or gym membership required. Take classes with world-class trainers, including Casey Ho, Jeanette Jenkins, and Caroline Pierce. More than 350,000 5-star reviews, featured in Forbes, Us Weekly, People, Women's Health, and the Viall Files. Text 64,000, that's 64,000 to join over 10 million people getting their Fit On. Work out for free anytime, anywhere. Text FILES to 64,000 to join Fit On for free. That's FILES files to 64,000. FILES files to 64,000.
All right, let's get into the episode. I want to ask you, Lisa and Amanda, what do we think of Jesse Palmer? I was asking Natalie as well when I was watching it. Hard for me not to be biased. I feel like when people like myself or Wells or Ben or Caitlin and Tayshia,
why not you guys?
Who all think I could have done this,
yes.
You know, and maybe, you know, hard for me not to be biased. So what did you think of Jesse Palmer?
My one note, I had to take notes because there's so many people in the first few episodes. I just wrote not Chris Harrison, but and Clayton is not Colton. I just had to make note of that because I found it confusing. You know what I mean?
Those are great takes.
Just that's my take.
And I think that was my frustration with the Jesse Palmer thing. And I'm not surprised because, again, the announcement of Jesse Palmer was like, hey, Jesse Palmer's our host. Moving on. And even his intro on this episode was like, hey, I'm Jesse Palmer. I used to be The Bachelor. I'm married. Moving on. Like, what a weird, like, I used to be The Bachelor and I'm happily married. Enough about me.
Yeah.
And we didn't learn anything about him. Not that we necessarily need to.
He's a small town guy with
it's just that,
most
like,
puppies.
I got married a week ago. So, like, these women I'm not eligible. I'm not an eligible bachelor. It's like a weird, like, it's something that the show does. Like, it's a legitimate fear that people all the way at the very top of this franchise are worried about, like, having, like, people that contestants might deem attractive or desirable. There's just, like, this fear because it is a social experiment.
Sure.
You don't want options.
Sure.
We can make anyone look desirable, a la Clayton, if there's no other person for them to fall in love with.
Well, I always wondered about that last season because the girls are so lovely. And Tayshia, I feel like every time Tayshia walked in the room, one of the guys was like lighting up.
It was a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
And at times I think it was, I think something they had to address.
Do you know something you're not telling us?
Yeah, sure. They were like,
that's the tea.
I think they struggled, a little bit on Tayshia's first appearance as the host, and that was a concern of theirs. And it was on Katie's season. Tayshia was literally the last bachelorette. She's walking in, and so I think that's a problem. And also Jesse, like, it seemed like what Jesse was trying to do is just be Chris Harrison. As opposed to, like, doing his own thing.
But do you think that was a product of him or, like, that was a product of the show trying to tell him to do that? He did a good job.
Well, I guess I think it's a product of the show telling him to do that, but I also think that he got the job because they weren't expecting him to do anything else. I mean, he's a football analyst.
Yeah.
You know, I always find it just weird. It's just like, why even, you know, offer the bullshit of like, I'm here for you, Clayton. You're not alone. It's like, yeah, you are, Clayton. You are, and very like, what is? I'm waiting. I would love. I can't wait till
You
I say
are alone.
I can't. Listen, I will say I'm wrong. The moment Jesse Palmer like sits Clayton down and offers him some like introspective advice at a critical moment in the season, where Clayton's like, if it weren't for Jesse,
Sure.
like, you know.
I mean, they
like,
had the moment where he was like, it's my first time too, man. I haven't even been here before.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel like I'm a little biased and like.
Did you test for it? Did they test you guys?
There were conversations. I don't, you know, I had, but like I also did not expect or think it was. I was.
That would have been
There
fun.
were conversations, but
I would have enjoyed
I
that.
think they
Or
were.
Wells.
Yeah, Wells. You know, and I think Wells would have put his own spin on it. Obviously, Caitlin and Tasha. Like, you know, Caitlin, for example, especially at AFR. Caitlin, you missed
I
that.
saw
She
some
crushed
clips.
that. She crushed that.
She's
and so
hysterical.
Caitlin has her own spin, right? So like, that's what we with Jesse. There was no like, oh, what is Jesse Palmer going to bring? It was just like. It was like, this guy is just going to do his best version of what Chris Harrison did.
He kind of sounded like Chris Harrison too, and like the voiceovers. I just had to like take a beat and be like, wait, who is that? So yeah, it's interesting.
So Clayton's from a small town.
Loves puppies.
Loves puppies. I don't know if we need to go through like all the intro packages. I don't know, nothing.
I do want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think these women are so brave or crazy to go on the show now? Because I feel like when the show first started, and any contestants, when the show first started, like you were saying, social media wasn't like such a thing. And now it's like, when you go in on the show, you know social media is like looking for every little thing that you're going to say or do wrong. And like, you got to have some tough skin to make this choice, or are you just totally oblivious? Like, do you know what I mean?
I think it's all relative.
Okay.
I think the fear was always there. Like when I went on social media, wasn't what it is now. But
Yeah.
I think I still had those fears of like looking bad.
Would you go on now? I mean, I guess that's like
it's hard for me to
loaded
answer
question.
that
Yeah.
genuinely. I will say this: when it comes to men on the franchise, I don't think everyone should do it. I think it depends on a certain kind of man. I think there is a smaller window of grace when it comes to men showing their emotions and frustrations on their show. And how that can be portrayed and viewed, because the show's always going to edit the show to try to elicit a triggering response.
Sure.
And we're in a climate where we, and rightfully so, are identifying certain behaviors and patterns of like toxic behavior. And I think, you know, with the internet being what it is, and everyone's like the psychologist who's now capable of like identifying what a narcissist is, or what gaslighting is, or what love bombing is, it can,
It's
you know,
true.
And I think it's riskier nowadays for men. And I think it's not for everyone. I would tell a friend of mine to not be totally honest about their feelings if they were to go on. I'm like, if you get angry or frustrated,
Hold
be
it in.
very careful about how you express that, because you have no control about how that would be portrayed. If I had a guy friend go on now.
So I'm wondering, like, how many of these women are going to find love? How many are going on to get social media follows? I mean, that's
They
always the
are
question.
all, well, that's the, you know, we talk about this every season, but they're all going for the followers now, and I don't fault them for that, because there's no way you can't be all this talk about genuine, right? You can't be genuine and say that's not top of mind.
Absolutely.
You'd
but the
have to be a
show
robot.
still presents that as an issue.
I don't know. It's just a show. They use it as a tool to create villains.
Sure.
And it is what it is. We just have to accept that. But
Well, especially when women go on before knowing who the Bachelor is. It's like there's kind of a clear incentive there of,
right.
I want to be on this show no matter what. I want to have this
which is why
platform
they
for
will
myself.
take the opportunity to air something like what's a first impression rose winner. What's
Teddi.
When she's just like, I wasn't sure, and then I found out it was you. Like, they find that one moment to say that, to like portray the genuineness of the women on this season,
right,
et cetera, et cetera. Before the episode and before the season, I guess, even started, which we need to break this down. the young lady who was engaged.
Sally?
Is her name Sally?
Sally.
Let's look up Sally's bio here.
Sweet baby
her
Sally.
Chiron from the very beginning was previously engaged.
Okay. Well,
They didn't even say what her job was. They were like, this is what she's here to do.
that makes sense now because like she was on for the first 10 minutes and then left. I remember when I was watching this episode, I remember seeing something like on TikTok about her. Like I was like, oh, I thought I saw something about someone who like left their fiance to come on the show, which I'm very cautious about. Like, is that really true or is that just a rumor? But I would be curious of like who left who.
She said that there was a lack of trust towards the end of our engagement.
I mean, what,
So I think that could imply, like, you know, if
whatever
there
was
some
aired,
infidelity.
I take, you know, like I want to know.
The real.
Yeah, I'm.
It appeared that he maybe had some side thing going on, and they were going to get married on the day of the first rose ceremony.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they were the day before she sat down with. Yeah, the day before
the day,
night one,
right?
I guess
Like,
5 hours. I love how it was 5 hours before night one. Like,
why did she come? How did they make this happen?
Why did she come? Great question. This scene told me a lot.
Oh, break it down, Nick. Break it down.
It told me a lot. I've been obviously highly critical of the casting of Clayton, and once again. Not Clayton the human being. I've heard nothing but nice things about him as the man.
Seems very kind.
Being a good bachelor has nothing to do with being a good human. I want to make that very clear.
Say it loud. Say it proud.
So there's that.
Who was your pick? Brandon,
Rodney.
Rodney.
Yeah, knowing that she picked Nate. Yeah, Brandon or Rodney.
Yeah. Why didn't?
Because again, I don't think Joe could do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think they just needed to kick this off with some drama? So they brought in Sally EY?
Yeah, I mean, I think they legitimately cast her. And I think she legitimately, this wasn't some like staged person. Let's find someone who's going to come and tell this story. I think she legitimately showed up and legitimately panicked. And I believe that. I believe that she... And that would make sense. Like you're sitting in a hotel room for 3 or 4 days, doing like your tasks. And you're not your tasks, but like producers, and you'll do a couple ITMs to kind of get warmed up, and you'll talk about like, what do you want to do night one? Like, do you want us to bring in like a camel, or do you want to skydive? Like, what do you want to do? Like, well, I'll just get out of the car. Maybe she get out of a wedding dress. I'm sure they probably pitched that to her. Some shit like that.
Can you imagine? That would have been great.
And I assume she legitimately, panicked. And so she probably went to the producers and said, I can't fucking do this. And they were like, well, you should at least meet the guy. Right. And so she probably was like, okay, I'll meet the guy. So she meets him. Right. I mean, she starts crying. I'm like, whatever. I guess I get it. Like,
yeah, it's
a
traumatic.
lot.
She probably thought like, I'm going to get back in the game. And then was like, I don't want to be in the game. It's so scary.
But what this scene told me, it was that.
I like that you call it a scene, by the way.
It's a scene.
It is.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how this moment. I'm sorry, this moment,
Very theatrical.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. This moment. She knocks on the door, Clayton Antons. He sits down. He's never, she's a beautiful woman. This tells me that this is going to be a very entertaining season. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be sloppy.
Very sloppy.
A total hot mess. And that Clayton is in no way emotionally prepared to get engaged or be married in 8 to 9 months.
Dude, no way.
A woman walked in and sat down and said, hi, I'm Sally. And
very maturely.
I'm struggling here. I know you are here to get engaged and married. I know like you of all 31 people here, the only one who's kind of low-key expected to like get engaged is you, Mr. Bachelor. And we have a short window of time, like 8 or 9 weekends. And like, I'm going to tell you this story. I'm struggling. I was supposed to get married yesterday. I've been thinking about like walking down the aisle at my first dance. Like she's clearly struggling. This woman is struggling in front of Clayton. And instead of Clayton being like, I'm really sorry. And it seems like maybe you're still seems like you're still healing a little bit.
Correct.
And it would be a lot for anyone. It'd be a lot for anyone. All of us here are about to embark on what is going to be no doubt crazy. And I truly hope this works out for me. And I need, if only, I need everyone to be kind of like ready, you know, like healed and kind of ready to fall in love. It just doesn't seem, you seem great. I mean, I don't really know you, but like you seem nice. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you need to heal. He's like, no, he's begging her to stay. He's just like, I know you're an amazing person. I know you're genuine. Like, based off what, Clayton?
And then he gets
his quote was, I already like what I'm seeing out of you. I can tell you have a good heart. And he said, you're special. This is after maybe 2 lines above back and forth.
I mean, was he trying to just be like present himself as a nice guy and like didn't know how to do it? Or was he genuinely like, this could work?
Either way, just the season's going to be a hot mess because like Clayton, if everything I've heard and everything they're telling us, and truly, like I've heard the Bachelor show tell us we have a genuine lead. And then I've heard producers behind the scenes being like, they fucking suck. But I've heard nothing but great things about Clayton as the human being. Seems like a really good guy. But again, like being a good guy does not mean you're like
ready.
Like Michelle. Again, what do we see out of Michelle? And an absolutely dynamite, like emotionally intelligent woman who on every conversation he had, like we all learned from Michelle as she handled every situation with a thoughtful and empathetic response. And if there was criticism towards her season, it was like, God, that's like it's a little too mature for me and like like boring, you know? So
totally.
We're not going to learn.
This is going to be exact.
This is going to be a season of what not to do.
Absolutely.
Like in an emotionally charged situation.
Yes.
But it's going to be such a train wreck and totally fun to watch because like who in their right mind should be begging someone who's clearly said, I'm not ready to get engaged to someone new in 8 weeks. And Clayton's like, please stay. And I can only presume when he's like, I know you're a good person. And again, you have little to go on. So he's clearly making this decision based off of like, you know, I don't know, looks.
Yeah. Don't worry. There's 12 other girls that look exactly like her about to come in.
I know you're a good person. Please stay. He goes 0 for 1.
Well, sweet baby Clayton, at the end of last season when he left, he was just like, I don't know who I am. Like his whole, right? Wasn't that his whole thing is like, I'm still trying to kind of figure out who I am, which there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that's what life is and you're trying to figure that out. But like, I feel like you should figure that out before you try to find a partner.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the show loves, this is their wheelhouse, right?
Is that why they chose him? They're like back in the
small town guy.
Love puppies.
You know, simple, whatever. And truly, they love a guy who's emotionally immature. And what we're seeing is just that. I mean, because it's an insane response.
It is an insane. You are correct.
Okay. To push back and say the other side of things. He did say, I was someone who I had a relationship that ended and I closed off. And I hope that doesn't happen to you.
But this was 5 days.
You know what? You should be ready in 8 weeks. Exactly.
I agree that I do not think Sally would necessarily be ready for an engagement in 8 weeks, but I do think Clayton is someone who is so focused on whoever he's with. I think he is such a present person. I think he's very empathetic. And so I think in the moment, he just wants to make things better. And I think that can probably lead him into trouble we see him.
I'm not saying he's a bad guy.
3 women.
And I'm saying he's nice. He's probably the friend you want. And yes, empathetic. And he made her feel good. These are all, that's not what I'm saying. And this will all be why it'll be a great season. Because
he falls in love with,
he means so well. And he's like, he wants everyone to feel happy. But even like he's going to focus on short-term like happiness and sacrifice long-term happiness.
My man.
Which will make great TV.
Totally. I'm in, dude. I'm sucked in.
You know, and so, I mean, also, Sally was just like, before, and like, I'm crying, but like, before I go, I want to meet the Bachelor, and oh, by the way, you're cute. She did mention that he's so attractive, but like, was she always going to leave, or
did she meet him and...
Does a different Bachelor make her stay? Was she just like...
Like, would have a Michael been like,
Maybe.
Because he was so emotionally tapped in and like aware and been like, I really see you. I hear you.
I think Michael would have sent her home.
Because he would have known there's no way she'd be ready.
Yeah. But like, let's say, again, like Clayton, attractive guy, but let's say, I don't know. I don't know who it could be, but like do you believe that Sally was already going home, or was she hoping to be convinced?
You know what? I think she was going home because she took a beat when the rose came out and called her mom or something to be like, he offered me a rose. Like, holy shit, should I do this? But she
rose.
A rose.
I mean, I was ready to go home, but now that I have a rose,
I'm all better now. I'm healed. No, I think she was going home. I think your point was well taken that she was like sitting in her hotel room, thought it was a good idea, and then it all kind of set in. Sally,
I think maybe she hoped against her better judgment that this would be her big redemptive arc, that she would go from heartbreak to an engagement. But then the second she was actually there, she was like, I want to be with my family. This is so hard.
Which, good for her. If that's what happened.
I think. Good for her.
What an actual human, normal response.
Totally.
I don't fault her for having an engagement. Regardless if she ended it or he ended it, doesn't matter. Engagements end. And then given this opportunity to go on, fuck it. What a great rebound opportunity for what I assume.
The ultimate rebound.
The ultimate rebound opportunity. And then realize, I can't do this. This is insane.
Yeah, maybe she'll be back for like Paradise.
I'm watching it and being like, fuck, I hope they bring her back like week 2 or 3. And I'm sure they will cry. I'm sure they will be like, are you sure? Are you sure? Clayton can't stop thinking about you, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I
really don't think she will come back, but Paradise, absolutely.
It's like I've healed now. I'm like actually ready.
She checks a lot of Bachelor boxes in terms of like, and she seemed like great TV. Like,
cute.
Got emotional, started crying right away. Like,
they're keeping her number. They're not throwing it out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll be seeing you.
I was bummed that she went home.
You were.
From a TV standpoint, like she definitely made the right decision for herself as a human.
But for us,
it was kind of selfish, Sally. Like
rude, Sally. We wanted to see you break down more, Sally.
All right. Any of the packages that we get to see, did you have any favorites?
Can we talk about Teddi? Is it time to talk about Teddi?
Yeah, please.
I think I love Teddi.
Big fan of Teddi.
I really think I love her. Very confident. I'm almost intimidated by her. Yeah. She's like one of those just comes in strong and is confident. And I think that's why he loved her off the bat. I'm worried, is that gonna, sometimes in this franchise, if you come in confident, which I think you should always be, but in this franchise, it sometimes turns on you.
The first impression rose on The Bachelorette is a great signal that you're going to win.
Yeah.
Not so much on The Bachelor.
Is that right?
Has there been a first impression rose winner on The Bachelor?
I mean, in the previews, it appears she goes very far.
Well, listen, what will happen is...
And we got a virgin.
If she definitely has a target on her back, for sure. But depending how much Clayton likes her, she'll get some protection. They'll you know what I'm saying? If Clayton week 4 is just guys, I'm just not really not in. Teddi, I don't know. I thought I was into her, not so much. They'll open they'll let the wolves in.
Got it.
And see what happens.
Totally.
If Clayton's I
really like her.
They will make sure she doesn't sit too vulnerable. She doesn't.
Got it.
She's not out in the wild and the open, ready to be pounced by.
Totally. And it looks like they have some other scapegoats for that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that. But I want what else about Teddi?
Well, she's super confident, and then she said that she made this decision when she was young that she was going to wait until marriage.
Yep.
Which we love. We have a virgin, but then she was like, but I think maybe I made that decision a little bit too soon. So I'm just going to wait till I'm in love, which I also love. So
yeah, no, I think
you have the right to make, to change your mind. And I kind of love that.
The producers set themselves up about Eric. I mean, I got to assume she's top 3 for sure.
She must.
If they don't bring her to the fantasy, I don't care if Clayton hates her. By week 2, if she's I can't stand her. They're sorry. Going. She is willing to go to the fantasy suite and she's a virgin. And I am unaware of any self-identified virgin who usually we had Ashley I, right?
Yeah.
Ashley I had this potential.
Yeah.
Now, Ashley, I didn't say this, and I want to ask Ashley. I think I'm going to ask her today when I get a chance to talk to her. It's hindsight's 20/20. You don't really know,
of course.
Because Ashley was a virgin what we seem like to be like with Teddi. It wasn't like religion or whatever. It was like, I wanted it to be special. And then like, I just wanted it to be special.
Yes.
And Ashley, I being someone who likes to fantasize about special things all the time, like it became like a 40-year-old virgin type of like, it's not special enough. It's not special enough, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It seems like that's what Teddi's is. It's not like necessarily religion or whatever. It's like, I told myself I was going to like, it was going to be a special moment, and I haven't found that special moment, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Fantasy Suite, that seems pretty special.
Seems pretty darn
special.
special.
And I wonder if Ashley had, her and Chris connected and she went further.
Oh yeah, I forgot
feel
who
like
her bachelor
Ashley,
was.
if she liked Chris, I don't know if she really fell for Chris, whatever, but if she was falling in love, I think Ashley would have like done
totally,
it, so to speak.
totally,
or literally. And that will be like, I'm in. Like I'm
in too.
I cannot.
She also like straight up told her mom, she's like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
So, no. And then, and like the big storyline, this is the jumping the fence moment is like, hey, I had sex with both of you.
Yeah.
And I know the season the teaser makes it, they're very good at editing that. They made it seem like
they popped.
It was not Teddi. They made it seem like Teddi was not part of that, but I don't think you can really.
No, they edited it.
They're very, very good. They're not doing their job. If Teddi doesn't lose her virginity in the fantasy suite, only to find out a day later he had sex with someone else, the very thing that she waited her whole life to make it special.
Nick, of course, dude. Right. Totally.
I mean,
yeah.
And I have friends there, and and if you're listening, do your job.
Do your job for us. We need
to quote Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Do your job.
Oh my God.
So,
that Teddi has an opportunity to follow through. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, quick update on First Impression Rose. The 2 Bachelor First Impression Rose recipients who ended up winning are Hannah Ann from Peter's season and Catherine from Sean's season.
Hannah Ann got the First Impression Rose. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny.
That will be amazing.
Yeah. She seems rad, and obviously he's like so into her.
Oh yeah.
Like there's just no denying that.
Right off the bat, entrance. I mean, and she does seem, you have all beautiful women.
How old is she?
I don't know.
Teddi.
There's a
cute name.
There's a natural beauty to Teddi that seems to pop.
Yeah.
Teddi is 24.
Okay.
24.
How old's Clayton? 27, 20. And Teddi does have a very this sounds mature, but like she does, you have 30 women coming out there. Like you said, there's a level of, self-confidence, like a genuine confidence.
She's connecting for real.
Not like I want to try to be confident, but this is like you can tell she believes in herself.
Yeah.
And I like that. Now in that world, you can easily, she could be a villain.
Totally.
I don't think she will be.
I was like, she could. That's exactly what I read. I was like, could
it's
she?
It's all up to Clayton.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
a little intimidated by her. I feel
she got herself. What would she have to do to not make it? Assuming she wants to, assuming she accepts the fantasy suite key from Jesse Palmer. If she wants to go, what would she have to do for Clayton, for the producers to be like, no, sorry. And again, obviously, when it comes to the final 3, that is Clayton's choice. It really is when it comes down to that. But he's clearly into her. So and a first impression goes a long way.
Sure.
And I don't get any sign from Teddi that she is hard to talk to, because being the Bachelor, the things that will things that will turn you off quickly are, being serious, now, is a mute and...
As I'm not saying anything,
body odor and bad breath.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
Okay. Does that happen a lot on the show?
The smell.
I guess you're up all night and stuff too.
Yeah, that's it's sometimes not bad white wine breath fermenting in your mouth for 8 hours, stuff like that.
Is someone?
It doesn't happen all that often, but it'll be like, oh geez. And again, I'm kidding when I you have 30 people and you're if someone's in your top 6, you're like, I can't anymore. I can't kiss this person anymore. But more seriously, the not talking, because the Bachelor has to talk so much, and
It's
they have to
exhausting.
have all these conversations. And so when you sit down with someone who's like, I have something to say, I have something to ask you, it's such a relief. And it can be really hard.
Did you like, that makes total sense to me. I mean, I feel like it's such an exhausting task for the Bachelor or Bachelorette. Did you like when a contestant would be like, how are you doing? Like, they don't air that very much, but once in a while they'll show it where they're genuinely like, this is like an overwhelming process. How are you doing?
Yes.
To actually break the wall down a little.
Or just like a question about me.
Yeah.
How are you doing? I want to get to know you, or just coming in with something to say. Because a lot of it is, and I get it. Why? You're nervous. It's there. If you are hoping the Bachelor is going to drive and lead every conversation, like it's just you're going to have a hard time connecting with them, because you're going to be sitting down with someone who's like experiencing brain fog and tired. And
well, so that's just not how humans are. That's not how you're supposed to date. Like, it's supposed to be reciprocal.
Sure, but like there's obviously an unequal power dynamic in that environment, and Teddi comes across as someone who won't be intimidated by that power dynamic and will drive conversations. And I just don't see a version of how a combination of Clayton's clear immediate attraction to her, her what seems to be clear, like not intimidated by the environment, and the fact that she is a virgin, already stating her willingness to go to the fantasy suite, how she is not guaranteed
to get there.
A key. Like they should just give her the key.
Or next Bachelorette already.
Sure, certainly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
the only scenario would be if Clayton really mismanaged it, like the way Matt James gave Abigail the first impression rose and then did nothing to kind of further their relationship throughout the season. Kind of took it for granted. If Clayton got distracted by someone else in front of him in the moment.
I don't blame Matt for that. I blame Abigail, and I don't blame Abigail the person, but like Abigail has shown us that she is more shy, but I don't necessarily blame Matt James. I just think there was a lack of chemistry night one. I think he, for whatever reason, liked her night one, and I just don't see Abigail's shy, like I just...
you can't be shy in this scenario, really, right?
Teddi does not seem shy.
No, she does not.
At all.
I wonder how the other girls are going to like Teddi. That's going to be like the other factor too, right? Because if for some reason they all become very jealous of her or she doesn't communicate well with them, then we might have an issue.
Well, the good news for us is that the winner only has to be so likable. They don't need to be the most popular in the house.
That is true.
So the winner is allowed to experience some sort of drama and cattiness.
That's right.
A la like Nikki on Juan Pablo sees Nikki and Claire. Like, they only get so much protection. But yes, a virgin always makes for a good Bachelorette for sure.
Yeah, and she's so cute.
That also would be good. Like the Bachelorette loses her virginity on The Bachelor, doesn't get picked because like he also had sex with.
Great storyline.
I mean, Teddi is in pole position.
Teddi is gold.
Yeah,
for this franchise.
It's yours to lose, Teddi.
Yeah, Teddi. Our money's on you, Teddi.
Who else stood out
in the packages,
or just like the night one? And any favorite limo entrances?
Well, I had a question. I saw a lot of things that happened last season also. Remember the fire truck situation? Somebody came in a small fire truck and then it was the same exact thing.
I mean, Lisa, they've been doing this for like 30 seasons.
But couldn't they switch it up a little bit? It was literally mirroring the same exact entrance.
Big truck, little truck, yeah. Yeah.
Did it bother you? I was like, geez. If someone came out with the inside of like a head, what did he do? Where they lifted up the...
Does a lack of creativity sometimes bother me? Yes, but like they know what works, and maybe they don't have to think too hard because they're spending most of their energy trying to be like, how do we figure out how to get a virgin to lose their
fair enough.
Virginity?
As long as all the energy is focused on that, then big truck, little truck, it is.
Yeah,
but come on, it was like the exact same thing.
Yeah. And
it was also Shanae, who's like an obvious villain for the season. So they're kind of doing some quick exposition, letting you know right then and there. This
Good
girl's
point.
trouble.
Which one is Shanae? Is she the one who went home?
No, she's the one that...
She was the big truck.
She's the one that they're like setting up to be the villain. And in the previews, it appears that she has a friends with benefits or something. They're alluding to like she still like has a friends with benefits when she came on the show.
Sure.
And Shanae, I think, throws the trophy in some of the super teases.
Ooh. She's very pretty, that Shanae.
Didn't she have the first package? Wasn't she? Also from a small town.
Yeah, she did have the first package. She's from the town of 800.
Yeah. Oh, can I backtrack just to like pile on the again? I know you're a great guy, Clayton. Would if random kids wrote you a letter? Like, am I a heartless man because I'm like,
I got to get married now?
Because I'm like, I would read it and go, oh, that's cute. But would I like
need to have kids? Have a breakdown?
And also, like, do we believe as much as we keep hearing how genuine he is? And I'm sure overall he's a great guy, but like, there seems to be an attempt at some acting when it comes to Clayton and
a lot of directing. I think it's a combo.
Yeah.
Where they're like, we gotta make this feel more important.
Also, like when the women were about to drive up and he
yelled, let's go.
Oh my God.
It's like Viking Clayton's back.
Literally, let's go. What? It's not a football game.
Yeah, I know. It's Clayton's constantly looks like he's in a constant state of like grinding his.
Well, he's got some good teeth.
Yeah, and
it's all teeth.
He's always gnarling. He's like the teeth emoji.
We're all just doing it now.
I will say though, even though I very much disagree with the casting of Clayton, now that he is the Bachelor, I like him. I think he's very endearing, and I get the yell thing is a lot, but like I think he's a sweetie.
I think, of course, he is a sweetie.
He's a real sweetie.
I think the show's like not about him anymore. It's just about the girls.
No, it's not. That's the thing, and he started off night 1 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Sally broke up with him.
Yeah.
And then who else broke up with him?
The spray tanner. The spray tanner.
The spray tanner Claire.
Yeah.
It's a bold move. We know her tan's not real.
Can we talk about her?
Yeah, I loved her.
You loved her?
Well, listen, I loved her for the role. I mean, I'm curious what the internet's going to say.
Yeah.
Because it's episode 1, and we've all been hard on the casting of Clayton. A lot of people weren't necessarily fans of the pick. And so I'm curious if the internet's going to be like, yeah, Claire's speaking for all of us, kind of like, I met him, I saw him.
Don't like him.
Good to go. I don't know. Well, here's what I liked about it. Because there's an authenticity there. And like,
do you really think that though? Like she genuinely, sorry I cut you off, but like she genuinely wasn't interested in him, or she like quickly understood that he wasn't interested in her and then got defensive and was like, I'm out.
It's possible, but like it's I don't think like I can go on as my experience on Andy's season. I got a limo and blacked out, and I was just like, I'm going home. And then I spent 4 hours of her not talking to me. And then granted, she did talk to him, but like she had this whole thing in this game, and everything we hear about Clayton, and I agree with you, Amanda, is that he's good at making people feel like seen and present.
Yeah.
And like Andy. Like, I didn't think Andy was into me, and then she gave me the first impression rose. It's like, night 1's crazy.
Oh, you got the first impression rose?
Yeah.
Good for you, bud.
Yeah. And night 1's crazy. And so do I think that, I mean, maybe she thought that, but yeah, I don't know. Either way, what I liked it is that like, is someone, every season, and even my season, it's just like, Nick's the greatest. And now all the women show up and like, oh my God, it's
to
amazing.
Have one person be like meh.
And then one person's like, I don't know. Not so much. There's definitely someone from my season.
Totally.
Who like, was just like, not my guy, and decided to just like lie.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I'm good. Like,
all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see it like that, but I like appreciate that point of view. And if that is the case, then that's awesome. I just felt like she was like super like, she's like and she might be very kind. And again, like these are all just opinions based off 2 seconds of TV that's been edited. So, but I felt like she was like poking him a lot. Like she was like the kid in kindergarten that would push you to tell you that she liked you. Do you know what I mean?
She sounds like she definitely could be like emotionally abusive.
She's like, why are you stressing me out?
Like, but I did love her.
And she handled the adversity very poorly. I think, because I feel like that was the real turning point, was when, because at the entrance was good, the cornhole, whatever. And then when a girl interrupted her, it felt like that was the turning point, was when she stopped feeling special. Then she started shit talking him a ton.
I mean, whatever the reason, it was.
You loved her.
I thought it was a refreshing, like, moment for night one. I don't remember seeing that recently where someone's night one where you really don't like, none of these women feel validated night one.
Sure.
And for her to be like, nah,
ouch,
fuck this guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bold move. And we didn't hear, I don't know why they edited that out, but he said something to her and then they aired her saying, I would love nothing more. And clearly he's like, I think I should walk you out.
Yeah, that did happen kind of fast. I would love
nothing more.
All right, that was kind of badass. All right, you've changed my opinion. Let's go get spray tans from her.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna, she wasn't going anywhere and she may have had a memorable moment. So I say good for her. Were there any other standouts? I guess the best way to go about this is
sit on my face. I want to sit on your face, girl.
I don't remember her.
Okay. Her name's Gabby. I wrote, is she drunk?
I see a picture of her.
She's like the funny cheerleader. And she came in with
the
a
one
pillow.
who allegedly dated Dean and Blake.
Dude. I was going to ask you that at the top with the T.
Now, did she really date? I know she dated Dean. I wonder, sorry, Blake, I know I'm hard on the guy, but like Blake wanted us to believe that him and Becca Kufrin were talking. And I think they probably had a conversation. They weren't talking romantically.
So was he really dating?
So was he?
Yeah.
Who knows? But
I mean, that's still two people to be.
I'm not a fan of her. Also, I thought she was pretty sauced.
That's exactly what I wrote. Like
she was definitely.
She was super sauced.
Super drunk.
Which I imagine it's easy to have that happen.
Harder to do these. We haven't seen
really?
a good drunk night one since
in the
new,
pool.
What's
the new rule? You can't take shots or something?
I believe it's 2 drinks per hour.
Okay.
But if you, I don't know. I don't know if you can manipulate that by drinking 2 at the end of the hour, if it's by the hour or from 7 to 8 or.
Why do they do that? Just safety?
Well, because they had an incident a few seasons back.
Man, I forgot about that.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, of course.
But we haven't really seen that used to be a staple of night one.
That's right.
And
absolutely.
Yeah, especially during the Bachelorette. I remember several.
And it was she certainly didn't make a fool of herself, but she seemed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my only note about her. The pillow was bold. I don't know.
But when I say I'm not a fan, she doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
I feel like she gets far.
I'm not curious about her. Yeah.
No.
Again, night one, my certainly, it's not a coincidence she's dated 2 people from Bachelor Nation. So she is willing to be involved.
Yeah. It's a choice, right?
That's a choice.
Yeah,
right?
It's a choice.
Not an accident.
Yeah. She has one of the opening packages too.
She seems like she is willing to insert herself in situations.
Yeah.
That's good for TV.
Okay.
So to that point, it wouldn't shock me if she's around for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll be top 4.
I feel kind
One thing that really stood out to me in the entrances was that Lindsay W. thanked the limo driver who held the door open for her.
Okay,
and I realized
I
don't think I've ever seen that before.
Lindsay W.
That's a good point.
Is she the one with the snake?
It was really, to me, that was such a indicative of who she is as a person.
I love that. I love that you picked up on that. That's really cool.
I think you're right. And not to criticize anyone who doesn't do that, but it's more she is capable
of being a human.
No, because again, when I got out, I was so
I remember
so nervous.
Of course.
And to be able to calm your nerves and take a moment and still say, not about me, thank you, is it says a lot about your ability to handle stress, I think.
Yeah. Even if she was so stressed, her go-to was to be kind.
Still to
Yeah.
She's probably just good at breathing.
That's what her bio says. Great breather.
Who is this? What was her name?
Lindsay W.
Let's see.
See, Lindsay W. looks like Hunter, right? They look like twins.
She does, yeah. She's a blonde. She's 28. She's from Houston,
there's
Texas.
definitely a lot of blondes. I can't tell the difference
bonkers.
Lindsay W. said this, but I got those Texas Southern manners.
Yeah, cute. I liked her. There was NC. She spoke, she's Korean and Persian, And she,
I believe she spoke in both languages.
yeah. And he took this, like, I made note that he took like this deep breath after her. Like, I feel like he was kind of taken back by her.
Oh, you know what? My thought about her was really impressive.
Yeah. Super pretty.
But also, like, I think she would go into a relationship with a lot of great expectations.
Okay. I like totally dig that. I mean, I can see that.
I think there's an intensity there.
Yeah.
Of
a lot of expectations about how.
I think she will let her partner know when they're not doing what she thinks they should do.
Okay. Yeah, totally.
You know what I'm saying?
He could maybe use that, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be a good thing. I think.
Yeah.
And I think she might need to learn how to rein that in.
Take it back.
Take it like.
Yeah. Pull it back just a touch.
Yeah.
How about, Genevieve? I was curious by her. What do you guys think? I can't like get a read on her. It's this one. She's the one whose parents were like together for 25 years.
Oh, the LA bartender.
Was she an LA bartender?
She's from Massachusetts, and she was the one who, when Clayton, after he announced that he'd walked Claire out, he asked to speak to Genevieve, which I think is very telling.
Oh.
I think she's got some crazy in her.
I was thinking it might be there. They're presenting her sort of subtly.
Natalie's response when she came on the screen was, she's crazy as fuck. Now, so I trust Natalie's gut instinct. And then in the preview, she made a couple appearances in the Super Tease.
Heavily featured, potentially as one of the three women who is left.
Who might like have to deal with Clayton's, loose dick.
You said it. Though she stood out as someone different. I feel like the people we're talking about, they kind of just like popped for one reason or another. So whether that's crazy or...
I think, again, I really want to reiterate, I think it's going to be a very entertaining season.
Oh my God, dude, the preview looks wild. Everyone's ugly crying hard. That'd be me.
It's Susie, strong Hannah B.
Dude, she looks exactly like her.
I would say exactly.
She's a very, very pretty.
She's very pretty.
Yeah.
And I think I could see her being around for a while.
Yeah. I liked her a lot.
Wedding videographer.
Yeah.
She loves love.
You could just hear it on the 101 of, I've been witness to so many love stories and I just want it to be mine now.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. She's gorgeous and she seems very kind.
Who's a former Olympian? And I want to know in what event. And also, I'm dying to know more about her.
Wait, which one?
The former Olympian.
That was Marlena.
Marlena? She's just someone for me who I want to learn more about. Maybe it's just because being a former Olympian and anything is incredible. It's amazing. And then you found yourself in The Bachelorette. So I hope we get to learn more about her.
He seemed to like Eliza. She was the one that spoke German.
From Berlin.
Yeah. And went in for the kiss. Like, she went in hot.
What do we think of Kira, the physician who came out in the lingerie?
Meh.
Well, there was the one quote from a girl.
You didn't like it?
I mean, I feel like every season, sorry, I cut you off. Every season we see that. Haven't we seen that before? Someone in lingerie. She was fine.
It never really goes well for those people.
It doesn't. It's like cute at first and then they're in lingerie all evening. It's like, okay.
I will say that when she walked in though, and the same thing with the girl who came in a bikini, all the girls cheered and were like, ow, ow. And you saw it with the toast. They're sort of framing this as like a supportive cast of women.
Sure are.
And then we cut to the Super Tease.
They sure did. Yeah. The editing on that was a little.
But I mean, I don't know. A doctor. I think.
A hot doc.
It's a hot doctor.
Yeah, everyone loves a hot doc.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Doctors really don't do well on this show. You ever notice that?
Different kind of personality, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we had Physician Joe, who was a fan favorite, but technically didn't do well. Like, didn't go far. And even on Paradise, didn't.
I was shocked about that on Paradise, that he just. Not much
for
happened.
All the Elaine Bennis's out there who are just dying to find the hot doctor.
Yeah.
They never perform very well on this show.
But the nurses kill it. There's always so many nurses and they always do very well.
That is so true. Because they're so kind.
Yeah.
I don't. Who's the girl that was like, let's do nips, touch my nips, look at my nips, my nips.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? She was cute.
Yeah. Well, they're all cute.
They're all cute.
Yeah. Whatever. They took shots. Great.
Does that count for the two drinks? I don't know.
Well, he only took a sip. Let's talk about Rachel, the flight instructor, and then she mentioned pilot. So
she was like, I'm a flight instructor and a student.
You have to be a pilot to do instruct.
I think so.
How to fly. Yeah.
Yeah, but then when is she a student? She seems cool.
I think she plays a support role in terms of helping pilots land, but she's also studying to become a pilot.
She once organized a flash mob in high school. Takes the initiative.
Did she choreograph the dance?
If we're gonna give credit to thanking someone and try to extrapolate like what this means about someone,
she's a leader.
She is a leader and an organizer and a follow through.
Yeah,
that will serve you well.
Perhaps loves a trend.
Show.
Yeah,
works well in large groups.
Yeah.
Villain, fill-in edit potentially.
You think so? She seemed very sort of like even keeled.
When I say villain, I mean like everyone can be a villain and everyone can be a hero. Like,
sure.
For all the there's no way Joe what my favorite thing about Grocery Store Joe, he's a great person. We've become friends. Is like his acknowledgement to being like he gets it, he understands. He doesn't a lot of people go on the show, get a good edit, and be like, I am as great as America tells me I am. And Joe's just well aware of and Joe is a great guy. He's a good dude. But what makes him great is his self-awareness to he doesn't believe that he's perfect because the show edited him as such. Yeah. Right. And a lot of people fall into that trap. So when I say you could be a villain or a villain often is someone who's willing to say anything, speak up, get attention from the lead, and then fall out of their good graces, all while slightly irritating your peers because you're more confident in a room of a bunch of people feeling insecure about themselves. That's literally all it takes. And so,
dude, this is a mind fuck for y'all.
Oh, 100%.
It's a lot of pressure.
Any other people stand out? So hard. So many people.
It's so hard on that first night. I imagine in real life too, but just watching it, it's a little mind numbing. But I thought, what did you think about the episode, generally speaking? It's fun.
Yeah, I think it's all you want in night one, because it's really just about meeting the women, getting to know your bachelor a little bit. I think they're going to play, Clayton's 0 for 2 on night one. And I said this to Natalie, and she was like, oh, damn, 0 for 2. And I'm like, yeah, but it's going to kind of it's working on Amanda. And
yeah,
eventually you're just gonna be like, fuck, we went into this episode not rooting for Clayton.
That's very true.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily rooting for him yet. But when all of a sudden it's clearly he's a nice guy.
He didn't freak out about.
No, right?
Yeah.
So now he's 0 for 2 and you're just everyone deserves somebody. So at some point you're going to be like, fuck, man, stop breaking up with this guy. And we'll be rooting for him. And I think episode 1, and again, I think Sally is breaking up with. I think there were 2 sincere breakups, but they air that because it will endear us to Clayton. There was no endearing moment. They staged a letter from kids, right? That was all bullshit. I don't know that for sure, but it seemed all bullshit to me. And so the first endearing moment we have from Clayton is when he's broken up with by these 2 women who don't know him, but we're usually, we watch this with the lens of, whether it's true or not, women falling over your bachelor.
That's right.
And this guy's like, fuck, man, he got broke up with twice before before he started handing out roses.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Totally.
But that will endear us to Clayton, I think. And you'll just be like, maybe not my guy, but I want him.
But he deserves.
I want him to find love.
Totally.
And I think that will help America root for him for sure.
How about, I just had a memory that one girl, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who, it was very cool. She brought a 100-year-old picture of her grandparents and telling the story of their history. And he had no reaction at all. And then just took the picture.
Did you find it problematic that she gave it to him?
I was like, did she make a copy? Is this a copy? Did she ask her parents? Is this okay? And where did he put it? And he didn't even to him, it was just, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did he put it?
Thank you for pointing that out.
Did she leave? Did he get it?
I don't know.
Did she get it back?
I do remember that moment. I don't remember who it was.
But it was just one of those moments where I felt like
It was Elizabeth. And Elizabeth was not one of the one who was sent home.
she's still there. Okay. Where is the picture, however?
Who was the young woman who was referred to as a cougar because she's 30?
33. I could have died.
Oh, is
Let me
that
just tell you.
Jane?
Yeah.
Jane.
She went home, I think, right?
Wait, they called a 33-year-old woman a cougar and then sent her packing?
Oh yeah. That one killed me. Brutal, girl.
Kind of a
Brutal.
dick move, ABC.
I know. Brutal.
I mean, she called herself a cougar, but
I put a little more eye cream on after that. I'm like,
who
damn.
was a young lady who in the Super Teas made it look like she was one of the two women that Clayton slept with?
I could not break it down that.
Well, Sarah says he's in love with all three of us, tearfully. So I think that implies that Sarah is certainly top 3. And so there's a 2/3 chance she's one of the women that he slept with.
Sarah.
Which one's Sarah?
She's the one who gave him the tiger thing. She was the first out of the limo.
First out of limo is very good call. First out of limo that is aired very often.
Is it? Do they edit it?
Yes.
Okay.
It depends. Yeah.
But first out's
for
always
example, interestingly enough, I'm kind of slightly contradicting myself. Danielle L on my season was the last out of the limo, and on the premiere, she was the first out of the limo.
Oh, no kidding.
And she went halfway through, but she ended up not being a main player on my season, even though I thought she might be early on. Being shown first out of limo is, I mean, you're leading with that. So it's something, it's significant.
Yeah, she seems cute, right?
She will certainly be around for like half the season at a minimum. Is she on this? Where is she?
That last page, maybe? I feel like some of the pictures don't look like the girls.
Yeah, these photos are always terrible. What does Sarah's bio say? Oh, here we go. Great. 23 wealth management advisor. Okay. New York. Not a lot of New York people.
That's right. And she's the one that they she has her own career and is like doing well,
wealth
right?
management.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing makes Sarah happier than cute tiny dogs.
Whoa, there's our cue. Same with him. They love puppies.
They love dogs. Okay.
This is going to work.
I mean, she's from New York, not a small town. Though. I don't know.
But maybe he's a small town guy looking for a big city
Sarah
girl.
gets frustrated by slow walkers. Okay, Sarah, I like you. That's, right out of a New York playbook.
Yeah.
Sarah thinks that Wonder Woman is badass. Okay. Not necessarily an original thought, but like.
Are these prompted or they just pull these?
It would be more of a hot take. She's like, Wonder Woman, I don't know, kind of.
Yeah, kind of lame.
Yeah.
Little weak.
She seems a little like, I don't know, demure for me.
Yeah. She could use to hit up the gym a few more times.
Sarah was also the one who smashed the printer during the bloopers.
I don't buy any of that shit. Smashing things. Could be like a group date where they're
totally
supposed to get their anger out and, I don't know.
They showed it at the end as like a first night, like she was in her night one attire.
But she was the one in the Super Teas where she said, he's falling in love with all of us? ?
I think so.
She said he's falling in love with all 3 of us.
I don't know how you edit that and not, because when you watch the Super Teas, they're like, oh, thanks for letting us know who the final 3 is. But they're really good. Like I didn't break it down frame by frame, but you saw her say that. So I feel like she might be there for a while.
Totally.
They don't make it seem like Teddi is one of those people.
They don't, but they
and if that is the case, I'm sorry. Like, do your job.
We're out.
Explain to me how she. Like,
you're done with this franchise.
I will need a legit reason why they didn't.
Yeah.
And the only legit reason why, in my understanding, is Teddi breaks up with Clayton.
Yeah.
That's it. Which clearly is.
You don't think there's anything she could do to piss him off or to piss the other girls off or.
No, because he's clearly physically attracted to her.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like, oh, Clayton's super fit. Like, you have such limited information that you are going to go with your first impression, your instincts, your instant chemistry. Michelle, we talked about, like myself with Vanessa. The Michelle all season is this like mature, self-aware person who's like, I'm not going to make the same mistakes twice. And I don't know what's going to happen with her and Nate. But clearly, she picked the guy she felt the most natural connection with.
Right.
And there's an edit, and I'm sure they played up Nate's like emotionally unavailable, until like his stepdad was like, yeah, the guy's not ready. How much of that is true or not, I don't know. But Michelle ended up picking the guy she was the most had the most natural chemistry, a la maybe physical chemistry with. And that just goes a long way when you just don't know anything about these people.
Right.
And you're just going to go with your instinct. Right. And so clearly we saw that with Teddi more than anyone else, like from the time she got out of the limo, hand on the leg, like it radiated through the screen of Clayton's interest in Teddi. And I mean, also Clayton, Sally, he made a grand, proclamation about who Sally was as a person based off of very little information. What is going to sway Clayton?
That is a very good point.
You know what I'm saying? Like
totally.
So unless Teddi says no and Teddi breaks up with Clayton, I don't like. In what world
does she not get there? Okay.
And then you add in the layer of like, even if Clayton's like, honestly, I'm just like into like 3 other women, and like maybe Teddi's his top 4, the producers got to be like,
just push her in.
Because what usually happens is by the time you get to the top 3, you have your top 1.
Right. Really? Even when they're like, we're in love with.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, everyone's different. And
sure.
I do think Clayton is the type of guy who could
be confused and think he's
because he's not. That's
some young love stuff right there.
Which again, like what you call a great bachelor, like what are we watching this for? Are we rooting for Clayton? Is it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Clayton's going to be an entertaining bachelor.
I think you're right.
Right. It's not a love documentary.
Yeah.
We don't see him cry, do we?
Oh my God.
He's crying too? I just saw so many girls crying. Are we going to see? I mean, we saw him cry.
What we did see is him. It was like this shot of like, on a ridge, the cameraman looking down on Clayton, of him yelling out, I'm falling in love and it feels so good.
Let's go.
That's when I was talking about like the attempt at acting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
But don't you think he's attempting at love too? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he wants it so bad.
What it tells me is Clayton is pretty much willing to do anything that is asked of him.
And we knew that though, right? We knew that going in. I feel like that's why he's the bachelor.
Probably, yeah.
Right?
That would make sense.
Because why else? He didn't jump out at us in the last season.
But tracking back all the way to like the first 30 seconds of the episode, I always find it hysterical when, the bachelor, Clayton, is like, they just don't really like attention. But
let's go.
Let's go.
How about that? The
professional football player, bachelorette, contestant, now the bachelor, doesn't like, listen, I'll buy, my dream isn't to be the most famous person in the world. Fine, I'll buy that. But don't tell me you don't like attention.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You're on television, sir.
But we're supposed to believe he's the most genuine person in the world.
Just a salt of the earth Midwestern guy.
Small town
who's
guy.
very tall.
Are they traveling a lot this season? Because they're back in the mansion. I think they're traveling.
I will say, good to be back.
I kind of like it too.
Good to be back.
I felt safe.
Good to be
you
back.
felt safe. Yeah. It felt like home, guys. We're back.
It really?
Yeah.
Like, these weird hotels.
Yeah.
Night one. Like, I don't know. It's good. It is good to be back. That will be. What?
Maybe one other thing worth talking about is Serene is the one who ends up telling Clayton about Claire, the one who is shit talking him. And there's also in the super tease, it says Serene is playing him and playing us. So also potential villain vibe.
Also, I also like, I thought, she's beautiful. She really like
stunning.
What does she do too? I thought
she's an elementary school teacher from Oklahoma.
Okay, elementary school
we
teacher?
love her. We love her. She cares.
What did she say? I also like, what did she say? Thank you for bringing her up. But I thought she said something to Clayton, which I thought was kind of a good line. She got out, obviously.
Oh, Clayton was like, I want you to bring the excitement. And she was like, I got you.
Is that what she said?
Cute.
Okay. I don't know. But yes, she seemed legit, like confident and
and she also like seemed to handle it like, we didn't see a lot of that conversation, but I like that she brought it up in a not super drama-y way.
So potential tease of a villain.
We love a whistleblower in the Bachelor house.
Love it.
Night one whistleblower.
Yeah.
She's like, this chick is, and when you're willing to be like, night one.
Totally.
You want me to tell on someone? I gotcha.
I'm in.
Like, why would you raise your hand for that? There's the 20 other,
because she's an
29 other
elementary
people.
school teacher and she wants right and wrong.
That did when he's like, so there's like some things I'm hearing. It's like he's like, so what did she say? That she hates you.
Yeah. Straight up. And then she was like, I don't hate you when she came. She straight up said, I hate him.
I hate him. And then like, it was funny because like, clearly she's just like, I hate him. Like people say that all the time.
Yeah.
And I hear women say that all the time. I'm like, I hate that. And then you're like, well, I don't hate you.
She's like, I don't hate anyone.
I hate anyone, but like, I actually believed her. We say that all the time. Well, we'll say it, but like, you're on TV and you're mic'd up, like whatever. Like
she did like straight up look at the pillow with his face on it and go, ugh, and like put it away. She was making a statement.
But I think there's a lot of people who just are not drooling over Clayton so far. So like, I'm really curious of Bachelor Nation.
How they're going to react to that.
Will have a similar response.
Do you think he's going to get broken up with more?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
I think that will be how
this goes.
Producers endear us to Clayton.
It's actually
at the
brilliant.
end of the season, it's like, fuck, come on.
At least he's got one that stayed. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And this, what in real life is clearly emotional immaturity, will be shown as genuine and just wants to find love.
Totally. That's the way around it.
And, poor guy. And truly poor guy. I mean, I think by the end of this experience, Clayton is going to be put through the ringer.
Oh, sure. And he's going to be exhausted.
I hope as always, we get a chance to interview him. I've been tough on him. Like, and I'm not him, but like, I
feel like you, at least just from what I'm hearing today, like,
it's not him. It's just,
it's the situation. And I feel like you're giving him the benefit.
I will,
doubt.
like, not every Bachelor Nation cast member is good at any type of criticism. Like, I mean, I'll say stuff like this and like their version of like, Nick fucking hates me. Why, I don't hate you. I'm talking about your character. I think Clayton, and a credit to Clayton, is I get the impression is that he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Well, that's
I will be able
huge
to say
skill to
all
have.
these things.
Totally.
Not about the Clayton the person, and he won't take it personally. He'll roll with the punches. And again, I've just want to reiterate, as a human being, I've heard nothing but great things.
I mean, if that's the case, and he really can roll with punches, then I really appreciate him for that.
And at 28, I would have been a fucking mess.
Oh my God. To date when you're 28 is so complicated and you have so much going on. To imagine doing that on television to a bunch of women while everyone's scrutinizing you. I mean,
I would have been a mess. Yeah. So,
plus we just came off this season of this very emotionally strong, very emotionally developed woman. So the comparison is hard to not have.
We needed this.
We needed.
Like, thank you. I really appreciated Michelle's season for what she gave us. Clayton's season was, Katie's season it was toxic. I think the only way to describe Katie's season was just toxic.
Yeah. I almost like blacked that season out.
It just felt like I was so ready to be done with it.
Yeah.
But also, it was great TV.
Yeah.
It was,
But this is the real.
So we needed Michelle to like bring it, like they were giving us an extra season already. So it's like, if you're going to give us an extra season, can you at least bring some sanity to what is finding love? And Michelle brought that. Now we're just like, you know what? I back to hot mess.
Yeah. Bring on the trash.
Bad decisions and
all the tears.
Yeah. Give me your final four predictions.
Oh, I'm going to need that. But I think it's the Hannah Brown looking girl. Susie, Teddi, Genevieve.
This is strong. And then it's got to be that Sarah girl.
Yeah. Eliza? Sarah. What do you think? You with me?
Teddi. Gotta be Teddi.
Gotta be Teddi.
I think the Hannah Brown.
Susie.
I mean, and I hate basing off of super teas because they're so good at,
I know.
Running interference, but she's in it a lot. Yeah, I like that top 4. What do you?
Yeah.
Genevieve, Sarah, Teddi.
It all starts.
And Hannah Brown's our next bachelorette, and Teddi wins. Is I'm going to say.
Yeah. If not, I need Teddi to be our next bachelorette.
Yeah.
Big time.
I'm going to say, I think Rachel's going to be there.
Rachel.
She was the flight instructor who they gave a lot of airtime to, who had Hallie come out with
the
her.
flight instructor. Oh, also, yeah, now, see, there's so many.
There's so many.
The flight instructor, the pilot. I think, you're right. I think she's...
But how about Shanae, like who they're setting up to be the villain? Sometimes those villains get far, and she's real pretty.
If I wasn't basing it off the super teas, I would say the flight instructor is top 4.
Okay.
Episode 2 tells you a lot when you watch it back because it's night 1, right? So episode 2 and 3 will tell you a lot because again, there's so many women and very few times. Who do they focus on? Who do they start showing storylines? Even if it is when they talk about love and when Clayton's talking about love and talking about finding people, who do they pan to? Who do you show? Like by episode 3, it really comes into form who your top 4 is. Much harder episode 1, but.
How about first one-on-one? Is that telling?
Oh yeah. But
it's going to be Teddi, right?
I mean, no, I doubt it because she got the first impression.
We already know, so we'll hold on her for a little bit.
Unless it's a Greg situation.
The first date is often not the first date is almost never, I shouldn't say almost never, is rarely the lead's favorite. It's usually a producer favorite.
Oh, really? How do they wiggle that out?
The first date will have some sort of compelling storyline.
Okay.
The first date serves a purpose. Is it to help Clayton tell us more of his story?
Totally.
Like Greg had the first impression rose and got the first date, and we never saw that before. Right. And the first impression rose is very much the choice of the lead. It really is. Like the producers don't, if the producers had more of a say, you wouldn't see the first impression rose be given to the winner every season.
Because it becomes too obvious, right?
It's too obvious.
Yeah.
So they really, they might help you, figure out because there's 30 people, but, on my season, it was, who do you want? I'm like, Rachel. They're like, great. And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. And so Katie gives it to Greg, but Greg, whose father passed away, Katie's father passed away.
Right.
So we didn't get to see a lot of Katie on Matt James's season because she was in top 4. So it was more learning about Katie. I suspect we might get a little bit more of that because we don't know a ton about Clayton. So I suspect whoever gets the first...
It's a storytelling device.
It's a storytelling device, which makes me not immediately assume they're top 4. It could be.
Dude, it's so intricate. I love it. Yeah. I love hearing you talk about it, how you break it down. It's so interesting. And now I'm sucked in again. And I think
it's going to be a great season.
I'm in, dude. I'm in.
It's going to be a hot mess. I do think
we're all just smiling, thinking of everyone crying, which is so twisted.
Like Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because there's all these choices because my girlfriend Natalie, she wasn't a Bachelor fan. So now she. How'd
you guys meet?
She slid into my DMs.
I love that.
She's more of a Bravo Housewives reality fan. So I now she watches with me because I cover it for work, right?
Sure.
And so she's not a fan of Clayton. She just isn't. It has nothing to do with Clayton the person.
Just not interested.
Doesn't give a shit about him at all.
Yeah.
In fact, she's just not. And so for her, she didn't love the first episode. I thought from a TV standpoint, it was great, regardless of what I think about Clayton. So I'm really curious about will they struggle having, women who primarily watch the show be you need to be invested in The Bachelor on some level.
Sure.
You want to
we're watching it to root for love too, right?
For other people who who didn't want me to be the Bachelor, you still were like, oh fuck, can this guy find love? 2-time runner-up.
Oh,
kind of
absolutely.
Thing. So they had that story. And so, they really need to keep trying to get us invested in the Clayton.
They're working against a lot for sure.
I think there's maybe more Clayton love than we're thinking about.
You
the
think
other thing was when
She's
Sally
like,
came in and was saying was leaving and was like, I'm sorry. He was like, immediately, you don't need to apologize. So I think there's been a few glimmers of like Clayton being like truly just like sweetheart, really good energy.
Yeah.
Again, no doubt he is all those things. And clearly there are plenty of Clayton fans out there. I don't know if it's the majority.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll have to see Twitter.
We'll have to find. We'll see.
Oh God.
I do think they will do their job, and will be. All they have to do is get enough people to sucked in with the drama. So by like mid-season,
that's exactly right.
Like, this, I mean, come on, this guy we want. He's nice. Yes,
he's nice. I think we're gonna end up walking away being like, he's nice.
Yeah. All right. I think that does it.
I'm in though. I'm definitely
in.
I'm hooked.
Lisa, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you.
You'll have to come back for more.
I would love to now that I'm stuck watching this show. I'm in.
Please let our audience know all the great things you're doing, where they can follow you, any projects that they can support or enjoy that you are putting out there.
Oh, that's nice. I put out a video on YouTube Monday through Friday, and I'm developing a show based off my book that you helped me promote a couple years ago. Yeah. So hopefully you'll be seeing that soon.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And where can they follow you on social?
Oh, I'm Lisa Schwartz on Instagram, Lisbug on YouTube.
Lisa Bug?
Lisbug, Lisbug.
There you go. See, if people like me need to know how to spell things.
Fair enough.
And like,
yeah.
It could have taken me a whole hour to figure it out. Is the I silent or? Thanks so much, Lisa.
Thank you.
A pleasure. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to tell your friends, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Go back and check out our Ask Nick episodes for all your relationship and situationship struggles. And tomorrow we have the very wonderful and entertaining Francesca Farrago on the Viall Files. You do not want to miss that. Until next time, have a great day.
Hey guys, thanks for watching, but before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos, like our Monday's Ask Nick, especially if you're looking for some relationship stories and relationship advice, as well as our Wednesday interviews with your favorite celebrities and experts. See you next time.